Now, let us discuss the devices which are used to measure the electric current in an electrical circuit. In an electric circuit, to measure the electric current, we use a device called ammeter. So far we have discussed about the galvanometer and moving coil galvanometer. In that discussion, we have taken that, or we have seen that a galvanometer is the device used to measure and detect electric current, very small electric current. But ammeter is also the instrument or a device used to measure electric current in an electric circuit. So, it is an instrument used to measure electric current, in an electric circuit. Used to measure electric current in an electric circuit. But now there is a question comes in your mind that a galvanometer is used to measure the current, then why you are taking that an ammeter, and why we will take this ammeter to measure the current? The reason is that an ammeter, we can also say that it is a modified form of galvanometer. It is not it is not different from the galvanometer. We can say that it is a modified form of a galvanometer. So the next we can say that it is the modified form of galvanometer. It is the modified form of galvanometer. What the galvanometer is that it is the modified form of a galvanometer. Clear? But then again the question is, why not we use a galvanometer directly in an electric circuit to measure the electric current? Why we need a modification in the galvanometer so that it can be a ammeter? Then we use the ammeter in the circuit to measure the electric current. Why? The reason is that a galvanometer cannot be used directly in the electric circuit because, number one, a galvanometer consists of number of turns in the form of a coil in between the two pole pieces, isn't it? In the construction of the galvanometer consists of a coil in number of turns. The coil has n number of turns in between the two pole pieces, cylindrical pole pieces. So when the current passes through the coil gives some resistance. So we can say a galvanometer cannot be used directly in the circuit to measure the current because number one, because of high resistance of the galvanometer, when the current enters through the galvanometer, because of the resistance in the galvanometer, some current is decreased. So the output is not what the current enters. These the devices we are used to measure the current, not to decrease the current or not to increase the current. How much current in the circuit? I want to measure that value. I don't want to measure the decrease value or increase value, right? So the number is that a galvanometer cannot be used directly in the circuit because a galvanometer cannot be used directly in the circuit because, what do you say? Number one, it is a high resistance device. Means a galvanometer is a high resistance device. Number one. Number two. Then next we can say, suppose in the circuit, suddenly the current is flowing, very large amount of current is flowing in the circuit. Suppose the current is in the circuit is very large, and you are using a simple galvanometer to measure the current. Then what happens? The large current passes through the coil in the galvanometer. So this large current may damage the coil or the galvanometer, whole galvanometer. It burns the galvanometer. The galvanometer will burn. So it damages the galvanometer. Okay. So large current in the circuit damages the coil of the galvanometer. The coil of the galvanometer or burn the device. Burn the device. That's why we cannot use directly, right, in the galvanometer in the circuit. So we cannot use directly the galvanometer in the circuit. Okay. So now the question comes into that. So for measuring the current in the circuit, we use ammeter. Directly we cannot use the galvanometer. And ammeter is the modified form of the galvanometer. So means practically, so what we say, from this galvanometer is not directly in this case, because of this, the galvanometer is not directly used. So that means we should use a device that is an ammeter, already you know. So the ammeter is such that it should have low resistance. So what the current pass through the ammeter, modified form of galvanometer, that is the ammeter, the current does not reduce because of the resistance of the measuring device. So the ammeter should be a low resistance device, and it should not be damaged when a large current flows. This should be overcome so that we use the ammeter. So the ammeter, we can say, is a low resistance modified form of galvanometer. A ammeter is a low resistance. An ammeter is a low resistance modified form of a galvanometer. Clear? So let me write an ammeter. So it is an instrument device to measure the electric current, and other things we can write that. What we can write? An ammeter is a, so the ammeter is an, low resistance. It is a low resistance device, which is the modified form of galvanometer. Now the question is how we can convert a galvanometer to an ammeter. So next thing is the conversion of galvanometer to ammeter. Conversion of galvanometer to ammeter. How we can measure or how we can convert that. So now we see that. So let us think that there is a galvanometer like this. I will show the galvanometer like this. This is the galvanometer, which is of high resistance. How we can convert the galvanometer to an ammeter? If I connect a low resistance S, that is also called as the shunt resistance, S-H-U-N-T, shunt resistance, a low resistance parallel to the galvanometer. I use a low resistance S, and G is the galvanometer, a low resistance that is called as the shunt resistance parallel to the galvanometer. Then this works as a emitter. So this combination, this red dotted line, this is an emitter. How? How this is an emitter, right? Now let us think that there is a current I enters, right? And in the circuit, suppose high current flows, and I use this emitter to measure the current, to measure this current I. So what happens when I current passes through here? Let some current Ig enters through the galvanometer, and because of the low resistance, S is a shunt which is a low resistance, so most of the current pass through the shunt. Because of its low resistance, it is a high resistance, naturally Ig is very less compared to the current in S. So what is the current in S? Because they are in parallel, so the rest current is I minus Ig. I minus Ig pass through the shunt resistance or S. Then this Ig and I minus Ig, then again they pass and they will come out as again I. So you can measure the current. So this is an emitter. So conversion of galvanometer to emitter is what? By connecting a low resistance called shunt, SHUNT, by connecting a low resistance shunt in parallel to the galvanometer. Means a galvanometer can be converted to an emitter by connecting a low resistance or shunt in parallel to the galvanometer. Now you got the, because of this combination, now go to the galvanometer case. A galvanometer cannot be used directly because when a large current flows, it damages. If there is a large current, this one is, I is very large maybe, but because of low resistance, most of the current will pass through this one. Only a small current goes through galvanometer. So the galvanometer will not damage. Galvanometer is not damaged by the large current, number one. Number two is what? So it should be a low resistance. So now we calculate what is the resistance of this galvanometer by converting this one. So now in this case, according to this shunt resistance, how this shunt resistance, this is a very small resistance, and how you can arrange the value of S. How you can arrange the value of S to measure a particular range of current. Because the emitters, we are using the emitters for different range, the emitters are also different. Suppose I want to measure 0 to 5 ampere current, the emitter is different. Suppose I want to measure a current of 0 to 100 ampere, the emitter is different. So different range, to measure different range, we use different emitters. So accordingly, the shunt resistance is also different. We can change the shunt resistance, which can be connected in a parallel. So by connecting it parallel, now we clear that why it is connected in parallel, because the most of the current will pass through this one. If it is connected in series, then the same current will pass through galvanometer and shunt. The galvanometer will be, or the galvanometer will be damaged. Clear? Now in this case, if the potential difference across this galvanometer and across this shunt is same, because they are in parallel. So the potential difference across the galvanometer between these two and between these two shunt is same, because they are in a parallel. Clear? Now you can say the potential difference across G and S are same as they are connected in parallel. So what is the potential difference between this? What is the potential difference? What is the potential difference between these two? Between the galvanometer R. What is the potential difference? Current is Ig, let G is the resistance. Ig is the current and let G is the resistance. And here current is I minus Ig and resistance is S. S is the small resistance, S. Then what is the potential difference? So the potential difference is what? Potential difference across this, that is Ig into G is equal to I minus Ig into S. This is the current into resistance, that is the potential difference. V is equal to IR, V is equal to IR. So this potential difference, these are same. Then the shunt resistance S is equal to Ig divided by I minus Ig into G. This is the required shunt resistance to be used in a galvanometer. This is the required shunt resistance to be used in a galvanometer and connected in parallel, so that it can be used as an emitter of a definite range. Clear? So this is the formula. Now calculate the effective resistance of this one, of the emitter. Effective resistance of the emitter. Next is the, so this is the formula for shunt resistance. Remember this formula, this is very, very important. We use this in problems. Then effective resistance of emitter, because it is converted to an emitter. This is an emitter, this whole portion is an emitter. This is galvanometer, shunt, this combination is an emitter. So what is the effective resistance of emitter? So now this is the resistance G, this is an S. They are connected in a parallel. So the effective resistance 1 by R effective, the total effective resistance is equal to 1 by G plus 1 by S. So R effective, then I can use the direct R effective is equal to GS by G plus S. S is very, very large, smaller than G. Shunt resistance is galvanometer resistance is very, very larger than S. Clear? Galvanometer resistance is very, very larger than S. So galvanometer resistance is very, very larger than S. So S is very, very smaller than G. Neglecting S compared to G. What you will get? R effective is equal to GS by, neglect this S, by G. So G cancel. So this R effective is almost equal to, S. S is what? The shunt resistance. The effective resistance of the emitter is very, very small. That is S. Clear? Was that clear? So this is the part. And another thing, when we use the emitter in the electric circuit to measure the current, the emitter should be connected in series or parallel to the circuit. How? The emitter should be connected in series or parallel. It should always connected in a series to the circuit. Why? To convert, don't get confused. To convert the galvanometer to an emitter, a shunt is used in parallel, so it can convert an emitter. Now this emitter is connected in parallel or series to the circuit. So this is about the conversion and effective resistance. Remember this formula. Then another important thing is that the emitter. So now this is an emitter. I have drawn this is an emitter. Clear? So let me say that there is another device. Suppose there is an electric bulb is there, and suppose there is a heater is there, or suppose it is an electric bulb and they are connected like this. So this is an emitter. The emitter is connected in series or parallel to this one. Suppose it has another resistance, suppose R. It has a resistance R. So in the circuit, this should always connected in series. Why? Let us see. Let I current comes here. Then what the current flows to this one? I. If this one is in parallel, the emitter is connected in parallel, then is that I current will pass through this one? This is used to measure the current. Which current? I. So the I current should enter. So the same current should enter in both. So what is the current in the circuit? That current should be in the emitter so that it will measure the current. If it is connected in parallel, then a small current will come. Some portion of the current will go to this part. Some part of the current will go to that part. So it should not be used in parallel. So emitter is always, remember this, very important, it always connected in series to the electrical or to the electric circuit. That is very important. It always connected in series to the electric circuit. Okay. Clear? So this is about the emitter and how a galvanometer can be converted to an emitter and what are the reasons behind that. Then again, the emitter is a low resistance device, and an ideal emitter, there is a term called as ideal emitter, whose resistance is almost zero. If its resistance is zero, then what the current will flow? So because it is the same thing. If I current flows, it is connected in series. So from I current it comes here. So it has a very large resistance. Suppose this emitter has a very large resistance. Then this I will reduce here. Then in the output it will not get I. So some current is decreased. So the output is not same. It is used to measure, not to decrease the current. Okay? So this is about the emitter. And remember this formula, all these things, so that you can able to solve some problems. So in this case, let me write one of the question is there. Suppose I will write a question here. A galvanometer of resistance to 10 ohm. Let me write a question. A galvanometer of resistance 10 ohm. A galvanometer of resistance 10 ohm is a galvanometer of resistance from 10 ohm gives full scale deflection. Gives full scale deflection. Full scale deflection. A galvanometer of resistance 10 ohm gives full scale deflection for a current of 4 milliampere. For a current of 4 milliampere. For a current of 4 milliampere. How can it be converted into an emitter? How it can be converted into an emitter? How it can be converted to an emitter of range 0 to 5 amperes. Of range 0 to 5 ampere. So here, when this is given, remember one thing. A galvanometer of resistance 10 ohm. What is given? Generally we are taking capital G, resistance of galvanometer 10 ohm. Gives full scale deflection, means the galvanometer can take a maximum current of 4 milliampere. That meaning is full scale deflection. Means this is the current in the galvanometer R. Then you take the current in the galvanometer R, that is you will consider this as Ig. So Ig is given 4 milli, means 10 to the power minus 3 ampere. That is given. How it can be converted to an emitter? Means what is the shunt resistance required? To convert the galvanometer, you need a shunt resistance should be connected in parallel. That is clear. So what is this S value? So that it can emitter of range 0 to 5 ampere. So that is I is equal to, we can measure 5 ampere. Means that the total current which can be measured from 0 to 5 ampere. Means it can measure a maximum of value of 5 ampere. That is the question. So you put the formula. S is equal to Ig by I minus Ig into G. That is the formula. Clear? So Ig into G. So if you put that, this will be 4 into 10 to the power minus 3 divided by 5 minus 4 into 10 to the power minus 3 into 10. This is equal to 10. So if you solve this one, you will get the value is 0.008 ohm. That is the shunt resistance. And if you calculate the shunt resistance in the problems also, you will get a very small values. It will not like 1000 ohm, 5000 ohm. The value will not come like that. If it is coming like that, then you have done some mistake. It is very small resistance. Okay. It is 10 ohm, then the shunt resistance is 0.008 ohm. Clear? So this is about the emitter. Okay. Now next is the another device that is called as a, that is also voltmeter, which is also used in the electric circuit. The voltmeter is an instrument or a device used to measure the potential difference between two ends in a electric circuit. Okay, so the potential difference across the two ends of the circuit used to measure, it is used to measure potential difference between two ends or across two ends of an electric circuit. It is used to measure the potential difference between two ends of an electric circuit. Clear? Now, the measuring device, now you say, it is used to measure the potential difference between two ends of an electric circuit. Clear? So now from here you think that, as I have already told, an emitter is always connected in a parallel. Sorry, an emitter is always connected in a series to the electric circuit. That I have already told. Now come to the voltmeter part. It is used to measure the potential difference. Now you see, suppose there is a voltmeter. Let me write this is a voltmeter. If this is the electric circuit, any circuit, suppose this is a resistance R. Or suppose this is a resistance, suppose this is a resistance R. Now I use it to measure the potential difference. So this R is connected to a source. This voltmeter is always connected in parallel or series. Now you see. So this is a device and the current is flowing like this. If this voltmeter is connected in series like emitter, then what will happen? Because of its resistance, there is some resistance. Because of its resistance, it will take some, or the voltmeter is used to measure the potential difference. Means we cannot say what, to measure the potential difference across these 2 points, the current I enters. Clear? So I, suppose this is your I R and the rest is very small current I minus IR. I minus IR. That is the voltmeter like this. So now if it is connected in parallel, then what are the merits you see here? Suppose this IR current flows and this I minus IR. So there must be, so it should be in parallel means the voltmeter must be a high resistance. High resistance. So that this value should be very, very smaller than this one. Most of the current what is I is entering, that I should come here. That I should come here. Through this R. Most of the current should pass through this R. So that we can do the output, or we can use the maximum current. Less current flows to the voltmeter, because it is a device used to measure the potential difference. So the voltmeter should connect in parallel. If it is connected in parallel, what is the potential difference between these two? The same potential difference here. Because they are in a parallel, so it is a high resistance device. But if you use a simple galvanometer, okay, then the galvanometer cannot do the same one. You should make some modifications. Modification means we should increase the resistance of the galvanometer very high, so that it will take very small currents. Most of the current will pass through the circuit. It is a secondary part to measure the potential difference. This is a secondary one. No need to flow current in this part. We only need the potential difference between these two ends. So a voltmeter is always connected in a parallel to the circuit and a high resistance device. Clear? So I can write next is a voltmeter is a high resistance device. It is a high resistance device used in parallel to the electric circuit. Clear? Then next comes to how we can convert a galvanometer into a voltmeter. Next is the conversion of galvanometer into a voltmeter. How we convert that galvanometer into a voltmeter? So there is a galvanometer of resistance G and a resistance R, very high resistance, is connected in series, because to make this a high resistance device, this combination galvanometer and a high resistance in series, this combination is a voltmeter. This is a voltmeter. So that what happened here? Now let us consider the IG current flows in the circuit. The same current to the galvanometer and this IG is same this here. So you will get this IG, the output. Then it is connected to the circuit. So this is the voltmeter. Right? So it is high resistance. So that it is also high resistance, and this is again high resistance. Both will series. So effective resistance G plus R. This is very, very large. So a voltmeter is a high resistance device. Clear? Now from here, what is the potential difference across these two ends? What is the potential difference across these two ends? The potential difference between A and B, D is equal to, current is how much? Ig through what is the resistance? B is equal to IR. D and R, they are in series. So net resistance is what? G plus R. Net resistance. B is equal to IR. Clear? Then what is this R? We can calculate. This G plus R is equal to B by Ig. I need what is this resistance? High resistance R is equal to B by Ig minus G. This is the required formula. This much is the resistance R to be used or connected in series to the galvanometer, so that it can convert into a voltmeter. This much is the resistance, so that connected in series to the galvanometer, so that the galvanometer can convert to a voltmeter of a definite range. As usual, the voltmeter is also different. To measure a potential of 0 to 10 volt, I need a voltmeter of different resistance R connected in series to the galvanometer. If I want to measure a potential difference of 0 to 100 volt, I need a different R connected in series to the galvanometer. So to get different range, the R value is different, which is determined by this one. This is the formula. Then what is the effective resistance? The effective resistance is R effective is equal to R plus G, which is very, very large. Galvanometer is a high resistance. R is also high resistance. Then this is also high resistance. Clear? And the voltmeter is always connected in a parallel to the electric circuit. Okay? So with these formulas, and remember one other thing, what is the effective resistance of an ideal voltmeter? Voltmeter is a high resistance, ammeter is a low resistance device. So when an ideal ammeter means its resistance should be low, means 0. Voltmeter is a high resistance means effective resistance must be infinity. So for an ideal voltmeter, the effective resistance should be infinity. Clear? So then you can write a question here also. A galvanometer having, let me write by using this formula. Do here, we will solve the problems in the problem part. So let me make this simple example. How we will use these formulas? How we will use this formula? Now write a question here also. let me write very fast. Let me write a galvanometer. A galvanometer is used to, a galvanometer having a coil of, a galvanometer of resistance 10 ohm, of resistance 10 ohm, gives full scale deflection, gives full scale deflection for a current of 4 milliampere, for a current of 4 milliampere. Clear? How can be converted into a voltmeter? How can be converted into a voltmeter of range, any range, suppose given this is, suppose that I will take a range of 0 to 24 volt. Clear? Do the same thing. Very simple. What is given here? Galvanometer resistance, generally we are taking G, capital G, 10 ohm. Gives full deflection for a current of 4 milliampere, Ig. Galvanometer current 4 milliampere. Clear? How can you convert it into a voltmeter of range 0 to 24 volt? The 24 volt, then what should be the R? And the R should be connected in series. So V is equal to Ig into R plus G. So by putting all these things, so we can say R is equal to V by Ig minus G. What is V by Ig? V is 24 by Ig 4 into 10 to the power minus 3 minus G 10. Right? So this is your G is 10 ohm. So 6 into 10 to the power 3 minus 10. So this is equal to 6,000 minus 10, which is equal to 5,990 ohm. 5,900 ohm. Okay. This is the value. So this is the resistance connected in a series. Now there is a small question is there also. Differentiate between ammeter and voltmeter. If I'll ask, differentiate from here. So this is a problem you know, and how you use this voltmeter, ammeter, all these things you know that. Now you write this in a short form. Differentiate between an ammeter and a voltmeter. So let me write very small form. What is the difference between an ammeter and voltmeter? Ammeter and voltmeter. What is the difference? Next, use it to measure what? Current, electric current. Use it to measure, you write a sentence, all these things, okay? Use it to measure potential difference in the circuit. Next, it is a what? Ammeter is a low resistance device. This one a high resistance device. A low resistance device, a high resistance device. Number 3, by connecting a low resistance shunt or shunt, SHUNT, by connecting a low resistance in parallel to galvanometer. By connecting a low resistance in parallel to galvanometer, you get a ammeter. Here, by connecting a high resistance high resistance in series to galvanometer. We get a voltmeter. Next, always connected in a series. Remember, connected in series to the electric circuit. Always, where you get an emitter should be connected in series. 4. Connected in parallel to the circuit. Take this 4, or you can write more also. So this is a nutshell, you can say. That is the difference between the galvanometer and an emitter and a voltmeter, and how you can convert a galvanometer into an emitter and a voltmeter. Okay, go through this, dear students. You get an idea and you can solve the problems. Okay, thank you.